Welcome to Chemistry Simplified. Our topic for today is balancing chemical equations, part 2. In part 1, we had worked out two examples, and in part 2, we're going to work out two examples as well. Example number 1, let's say we have ethane reacting with oxygen to produce carbon dioxide plus water. Nothing is balanced so far. Right, we look at carbons. We have two carbons on the reactant side, only one carbon on the product side. 6 hydrogen on the reactant side, but only 2 hydrogens on the product side. Lastly, we have 2 oxygen on the reactant and we have 3 oxygen on the product side. So we need to balance everything. So we begin by balancing carbon. So we place a 2 in front of carbon that is on the product side with the carbon dioxide. So place a 2 in front of CO2. Right? We have 2 carbon on the left. Now we have 2 carbons on the right as well. Now we balance hydrogen. So we place a 3 in front of water. Right? Now there are 6 oxygen on the left and 6 oxygen on the right. So far everything looks good. Right? So carbon and hydrogens are balanced, but oxygen is not balanced. Why do we say that? There are 2 oxygen on the left on the reactant side and 7 oxygen on the product side. Now it's going to be difficult to balance oxygen, right? So we have 2 oxygen here. 2 times 2 is 4 plus 3 give us 7. Now let's try to use fraction to balance the equation, but we are not allowed to use fractions. So we place 7/2 in front of oxygen in the reactant side. So we're only doing that temporarily. Why? Because we can see that if we cross out the 2, we'd have 7 oxygen on the reactant side, just like we have 7 oxygen on the product side. But we are not allowed to do that. Since we are not allowed to do that, we can multiply the whole equation by 2 to remove the fraction. Just like we would do in math, if we have a fraction and we would want to get rid of it, we would multiply the whole equation by 2, by the denominator. So we multiply everything by 2, and that's what we end up with. Now the whole equation is balanced. Now you have to make sure that the equation is simplified, right? Well balanced. So let's verify that the equation is balanced. So we have 4 oxygen on the reactant, 4 oxygen on the product, 12 hydrogen for reactants, 12 for the product. Oxygen is balanced and everything is balanced. Example number 2. We have sodium phosphate reacting with magnesium chloride to give magnesium phosphate plus sodium chloride. Nothing is balanced so far. Right? Why do we say that? 3 sodium on the left, 1 sodium on the right, 1 phosphate on the reactant side. We have 2 phosphate on the product side, 1 magnesium on the reactant side, 3 magnesium on the product side, 2 chloride on the left, and 1 chloride on the right. So nothing is balanced. So we should begin by balancing the formula with the highest subscript, which in this situation is magnesium phosphate. So we place a 3 in front of magnesium chloride in order to balance magnesium. Then we place a 2 in front of sodium phosphate in order to balance phosphate. Now we have 6 sodium and 6 chlorine on the left side of the equation. So we should place a 6 in front of sodium chloride on the right side of the equation in order to balance sodium chloride. Let's check our answer. 6 sodium on the left, 6 sodium on the right, 2 phosphate on the left, 2 phosphate on the right, 3 magnesium on the left, 3 magnesium on the right, 6 chlorine on the left, 6 chlorine on the right. So everything looks to be balanced. So we are done.